What's the deal, YouTube? It's your host, DB Alba, and I'm back with a podcast. This one is a special podcast. This is a, you could say a podcast / reaction though. Realistically, we're not reacting to any video. We're reacting to their Champions League draw and the Pot 1 teams, Pot 2 teams, Pot 3 teams, Pot 4 teams. It got released today. And I was like, I got to do a podcast separately because I'm doing another podcast today, but I got to do a separate podcast just for this one. This one will be dropping today. Like, as you guys watch this, it's going to be dropping the same day. But the Champions League draw has finally came out, bro. It's going to be a lot of good games to look at. Interesting games, man. Let's get to it, bro. Let's look at it. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to put it on the side to side and show these teams. Who are they playing? Who are they facing, bro? So let's get it, bro. Let's go, man. Let's record the screen. It's not gonna be a long. It's gonna be a not long reaction, but let's get it though. PSG, the defending two-time the champions of the world, Champions League champions. They're starting. They had to play two Pot 1 teams and the two teams. They're playing Barcelona, man. As you guys know, PSG and Barcelona, they played last year, I believe. And that's when Ramos scored the amazing goal at the end to beat Barcelona, I believe 2-1, or I believe so, it was 2-1. But Barcelona played versus Barcelona. They're playing their old player, and Ferran Torres. You know, if you guys didn't know, Ferran Torres have left Barcelona and he signed to PSG, and he started off Liga 1 with a great campaign. He scored 2 goals to level PSG's first game, and it's gonna be interesting, man. It's at PSG though. I wish it was at Barcelona's stadium, Camp Nou. I wish it was there just to see the reactions of the fans seeing Ferran Torres back. How would they have greeted him and stuff like that. But it's interesting. This is interesting. PSG versus Barcelona. People said this teams could be the two teams you'll see later on in the knockout stages. PSG is also playing versus Man City. That's going to be a quite interesting game too, man. You know, this is the Pep Guardiola era. It's over. It's the post-Pep. And as we've seen so far in the post-Pep, it hasn't been looking too good. I know they still won versus Bournemouth. I will talk about that in another podcast with the Premier League. But the first game versus Arsenal in the Community Shield, they got dominated 3-0 off the bat. So this is going to be an interesting game for Man City. Man City just signed Bougada from Leo and Morocco. So that'll be interesting. But, you know, last time PSG and Man City saw each other, PSG came back versus Man City. Late goals for them to come back. Rome is PSG opponent. We haven't seen Rome in here in a long time, man. And Rome is an interesting Italian club. You never know what you're going to get out of them. But it's European night, Champions League. I don't know the last time they was in the Champions League. So we'll see what they get for them in Europe football. Aston Villa. They just recently played in the Super Cup. I believe, in the Super Cup. No, yeah, they did play in the Super Cup. That's crazy because PSG played Tottenham last year in the Super Cup, and they played them again in the past year in the league phase. So they played Aston Villa in the league phase at Aston Villa. But I don't think it's going to be good game. I feel like this game's going to be worse than the Super Cup. Super Cup day, it was 2-1. I feel like it's going to be, PSG's going to dominate them, man. They lost Watkins, like I said, Watkins. Their goalie's gone. Morgan Rogers is gone. Konza's gone. I don't know. They say Nicholas Jackson is coming there, so we'll see. They said Rafael Leon might go there, or they might go to the next team we're talking about, Galatasaray. So we'll see. But Galatasaray, man, they're playing versus PSG. They're lucky. PSG is lucky that's at PSG and not in Galatasaray, because Galatasaray's fans are amazing. It would have been a tough environment to play in, but that's going to be interesting, man. You got Victor Osimhen, Leroy Sane, maybe Rafael Leon. They got a couple players. They got players. It's gonna be interesting for them. They also play Villarreal, Spain team that got third place in La Liga last year. So that could be a great game. It's in Spain, so we'll see how that goes. You know, they got Nicolas Pepe. Who else do they got that's known? I don't know if the Senegal midfielder is still there, but that's a good solid team. It's a good solid team. They also got PSG also got Slovenian Barcelona. I believe that's Yaya Torres' team. I believe, right? I got it up here. Make sure I get. Yep, that's Salah Yaya Torres' team. Shout out to Yaya Torres, the first African manager to lead a team to the Champions League. So shout out to him. It's a PSG game, though. So that's gonna be an interesting game. Then PSG ends with Coma. Well, I don't know if they end with them, but this is just the order that's been given. They don't have no date times yet. PSG and Coma. That's gonna be an interesting game. Coma made it to the Champions League with Nico Pass. That's been amazing last year. So we'll see how that goes. But PSG, they have a tough one. PSG have a tough one. You know, PSG, they never been too good in the league phases. They always got under the top 8, so they always played the play-in game. But the play-in game led them to play in the championship back-to-back years. So will they get their third championship? Will they get the 3 in a row? They haven't had a three-peat in the Champions League since the Real Madrid, Ronaldo, and Zidane's team. So will we see it? I hope not. Do I think they're going to do it? No, but we'll see. We'll see, man. Let's go on to the next team. Arsenal, man. Arsenal, they're one of my teams, man. They're one of my teams, and they have a tough one. They got Real Madrid, another one of my teams. So I'm pissed about that. I figured they were going to get Real Madrid, and I'm pissed about that, man. But, hey, Arsenal has a tough one. Arsenal has a tough one. They have Real Madrid at Emirates, though, so that's going to be good for them as a plus. Then they got Bayern Munich again. I swear they played Bayern Munich last year than the year before that. And I like Michael Luzin. Michael Luzin is my second favorite player. So it's like, dang, I got to go against them. And that's in Bayern Munich. That's in Germany, so that's going to be a tough one. You know how their fans are over there. Then they played Tottenham at home. We just recently played them in a preseason game. We lost to them, I believe. And then we played Real Betis. We just recently played them in the preseason as well, and we lost to them. So it's going to be these are tough games. Then they got Leo. I hope I said the team right. They got Mbappe's little brother over there. They got, I don't know if Giroud's there. I don't know if Giroud's there. I don't know. I believe he's there. Olivier Giroud. I believe he's there. That's going to be a tough one. And they got Napoli. Napoli's, I believe, they struggled last year in Champions League, but they're still one of the best Italian teams, so that's going to be a struggle. And we're going there, so that should be hard. And then they got, I don't know, Sabia and Salifia. I don't know those two teams, so I'm not going to say too much about them. But Arsenal, they went perfect in the league phase. They went perfect all the way up to the PSG game. It's going to be a tough one, though. Do I see them going perfect, undefeated? I don't know. I really want Arsenal Real Madrid to tie 1-1. Bayern Munich is always going to be a tough one. That's going to Bayern. That's going to be a tough game. And Tottenham and Real Betis, those are teams that could give you trouble, especially on the way. Real Betis and Napoli away from home, that could give you trouble. So this is going to be a good test for Arsenal. Arsenal's been saying it a lot. They want to go for everything. They want to get the Premier League again. They want to get the Carbone Cup. They want to get the FA Cup. And they definitely want the Champions League. And I think this could be the year to get it, man. I heard Thierry Henry said it. We're in the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and now we got to win it. This is the 4th year to get it, bro. They got to get it, bro. And I believe it can happen. I believe it can happen, bro. I truly believe it. But these are some matches so far, man. Bayern Munich. Whew. When is Harry Kane going to lift that Champions League trophy up? I remember when he came to Bayern Munich, they said he couldn't get no trophies. He had to win no trophies in Tottenham. He came in, he left the Bundesliga, Super Cup, and I can't pronounce it. The DKL or DFL, whatever it is, Pauline Cup, the German Cup. It's a time for him to lift that Champions League Cup. I literally thought last year would have been the year. I thought they should have been PSG. First leg they got cheated off with that penalty that changed everything. But let's see, man. They got Arsenal. That's gonna be a tough one. Going to Atletico, you know that's always going to be a tough one. Even if they have Alvarez, even if they have Griezmann or Alvarez. I don't know if Alvarez is going to be there. You know Griezmann's not there. But if Alvarez is going to be there, it's going to be interesting. But that's always going to be a tough one. They got Real Betis at home. I think they'll handle that. Then they got Manchester United, man. Shout out to Manchester United back in the Champions League, man. I'm excited about that. We'll talk more about Manchester United. But going to Old Trafford, that could be interesting. But they got Bodo Glimt. If you guys know about Bodo Glimt, they had the historic run last year, man. They knocked out, I think, Inter Milan. And I don't know, no, they lost and ended up losing to Sporting. They blew it first morning. Then they got Little, going to France. That's gonna be interesting, man. That's gonna be interesting. I'm really excited to see the Little. But even though they lost, bro, to Bundadi to Man City, this should be interesting. But yeah, man, it should be a good one, man. These last two games, I don't know those teams, so I won't say too much. Liverpool, man. Liverpool's first year in the Champions League without Mo Salah, so it's gonna be interesting, man. Atletico, I believe they played Atletico last year, and then they beat Atletico, the game-winning goal by Virgil van Dijk. Going to Inter Milan away could be a tough one. It could be a tough one. FC Porto, shout out Porto being back in it. Shout out Porto, yeah, for sure, being back in it. Club Brugge, the Belgian team, that should be a tough one going over there. Villarreal, and then Fabian's. That's going to be interesting, man. Shout out. This Fabian's team could make some noise, man. I really think they could make some noise. They just signed Lukaku. They got Marco Asensio. I don't even want to talk too much about this team until we get to their point. Then they got Lens. That's a French team. I believe they won. That's the team that won the French Super Cup and the French tournament. I forgot what their French tournament's called. But I think they believe they won that. And then Lask, I think Lask is that the Belgian team? Is that Leonardo Trossard team? Drop in the comments. Real Madrid, man, my team, man, one of my teams as well. Inter is gonna be interesting, man. They played Inter at home. That's Jose Mourinho's one of his old teams. Arsenal way up from Arsenal. That's tough. PSV, that's an interesting Netherlands team. Roma, ooh, they're going to Roma. Jose Mourinho's going back to Roma. That's gonna be interesting. RB Leipzig, Jan Dumameni is going to play versus his old team. He said he wants to see them. He didn't think it would be this early, though. Ooh, I wish it was at there, though. It's home. That's going to be interesting, man. But those other three, I think LSK, like I said earlier, that could be Leonardo Trossard team. But Real Madrid, this is a pretty easy schedule for Real Madrid, man. Real Madrid back-to-back, the first 2 years of this new format, they haven't been a top 8 team. And I feel like this is truly the year for them to be a top 8. Like, yeah, they got Intern a great defense. Arsenal, great defense. Ooh, Denzel DeVries playing versus old team. But it's going to be at home, though. That's interesting. And then Vinny, remember the rumors with Vinny to Arsenal? He's going to Emirates for the first time. So we'll see if he's going to get whistled, all that. I don't know. Would they whistle him? I don't know if they would. But it's going to be interesting, man. But those are easy games for Real Madrid for the first time. Real Madrid, surprised they didn't get City. But I didn't want Arsenal, man. I didn't want Arsenal. I'm sick about that. But, hey, let's get it. Atletico Madrid, man. This is Lickman. Bayern Munich at home. That should be a plus for them. Liverpool, at Liverpool. Those Liverpool, them nights, them Champions League nights in Liverpool, that's tough. Man United versus Atletico, that's going to be a good game. PSV at Netherlands, we'll see about that. Ferner Beans could be interesting, man. Home game for them. That should be a good game. Bodo Glimt in Norway, that should be interesting. And then Stuttgart, it's in German, so the German fans. We'll see about that. Barcelona has a tough one. The first time I can say Barcelona has a tough schedule. The first 2 years, they didn't have one tough. They got Man City at home. Rodri, and then they go to away game with Ferran Torres. They get Aston Villa at home. I feel like they're going to win that. Sporting, going to Portugal and Sporting. That's going to be interesting. They're linked to Luis Suarez, the striker. They're imported Sporting, so that's going to be interesting. Feyenoord, I believe that's a Netherlands team. That should be interesting there at home. They got Galatasaray. They're going to Galatasaray. That's going to be a great game. I can see Galatasaray getting a point or beating them there. Como, they host Como. That's going to be interesting, and I don't know the last team. But Barcelona, they finally got a tough one, man. Will they finally get their 6th title like the captain says? I don't think so. I really don't think so. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Inter Milan. Liverpool at home should be interesting. Away at Real Madrid. Club Brugge at home. Tottenham away. I don't know that team's Qatari. Feyenoord, the Netherlands team away. That should be tough. Stuttgart is at home, but you don't know what Inter Milan. Inter Milan disappointed us last year, losing to Bodo Glimt, and then they didn't. You know how they got dominated in the Champions League. The next year following up, they didn't do it. But they always win the Italian Series A league, so we don't know. They also got Solvian Bratislava away game to Yaya Toure's team. The last one in pot 1 is Man City. They got PSG. That's going to be a tough one. Like I said, last time they played PSG, they blew it, and it's no more Pep. So, man, we could have got Man City. Oh, we could have got Pep versus Barcelona. I didn't even think about that. Oh, that'd have been good, bro. That'd have been good. That's going to be good, though. Man City versus Barcelona. I don't know when was the last time that happened. I really don't remember. Sporting versus Man City is going to be a good one. Porto versus Man City. Napoleon versus Man City got a tough schedule. RP Lisbon, Lens. I ain't going to lie. Man City has a tough schedule. I ain't going to lie. They have a tough schedule. But that was all pot 1, the heavyweight teams. Let's check out pot 2. Pot 2, man. Let's look at Club Brugge. Got Liverpool, Inter Milan, Aston Villa, PSV, Bodo Glimt, Napoleon, Lens, and Stuttgart. That's tough. I ain't gonna lie. Club Brugge got a tough competition over there. I ain't gonna lie. Jesus, I ain't gonna lie. That is tough for them. Which I can see them taking a point from Aston Villa, PSV. Bodo Glimt probably could beat them. I just don't really know who's on Club Brugge, but I just know the name. Aston Villa versus PSG again, I see them losing. Barcelona losing. Tottenham, I don't know. It depends on what Tottenham team we're getting. You know how the Tottenham team, it's a home game for Aston Villa, so we'll see. Club Brugge, like we said. Furbrance, they could lose that. Galatasaray, they could definitely lose that. And those two last teams, I don't know. Man United, I can't wait. Man United, bro. I'm not a Man United fan, but that's one of the biggest clubs in the world. If it's after Real Madrid, you will say Man United. But I'm not a fan. I'm just happy to see them back in Champions League, man. I see them in Europa. I want to see them in the Champions League, man, in the new format. Bruno Fernandes, the player of the year, man. Shout out to him. He got all these awards, all that. We'll talk about that later or another. But shout out to him. They got Bayern Munich. That could be a tough one. They're at home, though. That could be a tough one. Atletico is a tough one. Roma. That could be a tough one, but they're home. Sporting, that's tough. Sporting, Man United and Sporting. That's the Ronaldo game. That's Ronaldo started his career at Sporting and Man United. RB Leipzig. That could be a tough one. Villarreal. That could be hard. And Como. So Man United got it easy. I do say Man United will go to the knockout stage, but will they go to the top 8? That's the question. They gotta beat Bayern or Atletico. I think they could beat Atletico. I truly believe they could beat Atletico. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. After seeing the first game versus Hull City, man, I don't know. Hull City exposed them badly, but I don't know. I just want to see Man United successful, man. But this is gonna be interesting, man. This is really gonna be interesting. Like, they could be every team out here but Bayern Munich, in my opinion. What Atletico we're going to see? Is Alvarez going to be playing about the time? Are you going to have another replacement? We don't know. Like, we truly don't know, man. Tottenham. Got Inter Milan, Arsenal, Real Betis, Aston Villa, Villarreal, Bodo Glimt, and AK Aston. That's tough. I ain't gonna lie. That is a tough one for Tottenham because you never know what Tottenham team would get it, bro. We really don't know what Tottenham team would get it, bro. Cause I truly don't know what Tottenham team like. Yeah, they got their striker from Guinea, Sino Gurseri, or I don't know how to say his name. He's a great striker. They got Job. They got guys there, but is it enough to beat Real Betis, Villarreal? I think they could beat Aston Villa, but Real Betis and Villarreal is tough. I don't see them beating Arsenal at Emirates. Inter, I don't know about that. It depends what Inter team we get. Real Betis is confident after beating Arsenal in the preseason. They think they can come back to Emirates and beat them. They are way at Bayern. They're losing that. Porto is going to be a great game. We don't know what Porto team we're going to get. I know they won the Portuguese leagues. Dortmund, we just said that it could be a toss-up for any team. Feyenoord could be a toss-up. Leo, it could be a toss-up. Como, it could be a toss-up. And Soviet Bratislava, the Torres team. Ooh. Sporting has a tough one. Sporting has a tough one. Got Barcelona, Man City, Man United. Well, they got away Man City, then home Barcelona and Man United. Away Rome, home Galatasaray and Lask. And Lens. That's going to be tough for them. That's going to be tough. Porto, Man City, Liverpool, PSV, Real Betis, Napoleon, Feyenoord. It's tough for Porto. I mean, can they sneak in there? Roma, they lose it up Real Madrid and PSG. Sporting, they could be Sporting. Man United, they could probably beat Man United. Leo, that's gonna be a toss-up. Feyenoord could be a toss-up. Sorry, Biskelly, shout out to them. PSV, I'm not too sure who's on PSV right now. I just know the history of them. Atletico, smooth. They probably lose to Madrid as well. Club World, we don't know. Porto, we don't know. Lisbon, don't know. Sodergaard, we don't know. All right, we're skipping that. RB Leipzig, Man City, Real Madrid, PSV, Man United, Lens, Como, Feyenoord. That's tough. They got Man City at home, though. We'll see what type of fans come out to that. PSV at home. But United and Real Madrid away, that's tough. That's tough. I ain't gonna lie. That's tough. But it depends what Man United team we get. Lens at home, though. Galatasaray, I'm happy to see them, man. I'm happy to see Galatasaray. They got Barca and PSG. They could pose threats to these teams. It depends what Victor Osimhen and Leroy Sané would get. But those two teams, Aston Villa's gonna be tough. Oh, they're gonna beat Aston Villa, my bad. Sporting's it's gonna be tough going to Sporting. Away in Stuttgart. Leo and Stuttgart should be tough games. Villarreal, PSG, Liverpool, Man United, Dortmund, Napoleon. That's tough. I ain't gonna lie, they got a tough schedule. Holy shit. Now you look at that, their point of view, like Villarreal, we were saying they could handle a lot of teams, but you look at their schedule, that's kind of tough, yo. Like, they could be Dortmund and Man United, but it's like, dang. Liverpool, they can't. I don't know. No, they're playing at Liverpool. No, they're not beating them. I know, that's tough, though. This team I've been looking to see, man. Like I said, they got Lukaku now. They already have Marco Asensio, N'Golo Kante, Anderson as the goalkeeper. I'm missing somebody. Dang, it's a tip of my tongue, bro. Dang. Oh, Nathan Ake. That's a tough team. They could upset Liverpool at home. Atletico, they could give Atletico a run. They could beat Rome. Aston Villa, they could beat Aston Villa too, bro. Villarreal, they could beat them. Like, the only team I see, like, Atletico, because it's away Atletico, but Liverpool. But they could make some noise, bro. Napoleon being a pot three is crazy. But that's tough for being a pot three. You got Arsenal, Man City. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne going back to Manchester City. What's the stadium? Etihad, whatever. It's Emirates and Etihad, whatever the stadium's called. But Kevin De Bruyne's going back. That's interesting. So their old midfielders, Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne, both playing their old teams. That's crazy for Man City. But dang, man, we'll see how that goes. Because didn't they play last year, right? And he got hurt. Or no, they played last year, and the dude got a red card. He got sacrificed out. That's crazy. So we'll see this year how it goes. Arsenal, Man City probably lose to Arsenal for sure. Napoleon, though, who they still got? Do they still got Sky McTominay? Porto should beat them. Bodo, we don't know what to expect from Bodo. Villarreal could beat them. But that's a decent. Hopefully they make it. Last year they didn't even make it out the league phase. Like, they're at the bottom half. Bodo Glims, Feyenoord, Lille. I know Ethan Mbappe wanted to play versus Real Madrid, his brother. But they got Real Betis, they got Arsenal, Bayern Munich. Bodo, can they make any upsets? I don't see them beating Bayern. They could beat Atletico. They could be without no. We'll see. Cinderella years. Feyenoord, I don't know anybody on their team. Lens is the French champions. They won the Super Cup, I believe, Lens. Man City, Liverpool, Sporting. They could be Sporting Club, all that. Yeah, they could win these games. I don't know if they could beat the top teams. Storgard could beat Atletico, Inter. I mean, they could be any those teams, bro. We don't know. Como, shout out to Nico Paz. Don't see them being these two teams. They could be Man United. Could they? Real Betis, they could. Libsyn. But shout out to Yaya Torres' team. Inter Milan, PSG, Real Betis, Roma. Tough teams to go against. Little tough teams to go against. Hopefully they can still win, though, versus some teams, bro. Just hopefully they can still win. But this is a surprise, man. Hey. This was the Champions League reaction, man. Drop in the comments what you guys think, man. Who you think is going to make noise? What team are you excited to see? PSG going for a three-peat. Is Real Madrid going to get number 16? Is Rodri going to lead? Is going to lead Barcelona to the 6th championship? Is Harry Kane finally going to get a championship, man? We got a lot, man. This is interesting. I can't wait for the first games. It should be soon. It should be soon. Man City without Pep, bro. And Haaland with no hair. Liverpool without Mo Salah. It's going to be interesting, man. Arsenal, man. Can they finally get that trophy, man? Like, share, to your post notifications on, man. We're going to get back to more reactions. You're going to see a lot of reactions, Champions Leagues, all that, man. Subscribe to the reaction channel, Atletico. Man, good luck with Alvarez, man. But like, share, tell your post notifications on, and we are out.